Hey ladies, welcome to week 3. If you've made it this far, it is Monday evening and recording this for your weekly homework. Homework is a little less task intensive this week and more focused on learning a little more about Jamberry as a company and about how we fit in to their corporate philosophies and their corporate culture. Jamberry has brand values, and if those, most of you, I don't think any of you have the brand book that was available for sale in the print shop. If you haven't had a chance to pick it up, I strongly encourage you to do that, only because it's beautiful and it's visual and it's a great reminder of a lot of things. The pictures are fantastic. It's not too wordy, and it really helps you understand a little bit about the company and you know why they are doing so well and why they will continue to do so well. So as you know, Jamberry was created by the three sisters, and ultimately their goal is to allow people to be able to express their own personal style without having to break the bank. I mean, I don't think any of us can really afford to watch any of those runway models walk down and pick out outfits based on our current incomes, but we certainly all like to be in style, and that doesn't always have to mean designer looks, but we always want something that's going to be our own, and most of us have something that is kind of unique to us. We have a personal style, and our personal style basically tells people what our tastes and beliefs might be, but personal style can also mean things a little deeper, you know, talking about ambitions and inspirations and hopes, and the history of our appearance, where we've come from, where we've been. And so being able to express your personal style in many ways is always something that's both healthy emotionally and fun. But the fact that Jamberry nails something so tiny, but something so visual and visible is available to all of us, certainly makes that a more fun part of our day. So I'm going to go through a little bit about those brand values and the Jamberry brand itself. Now, looking through the book, and I wish I had pictures of the book online that I could share with you, but I don't right now. So you're going to kind of have to take for granted that what I'm reading is actually what's in front of me right now. Now, Jamberry's brand purpose. Now, when the team met to develop this book, they basically met to talk about, you know, who are we, why are we, where did we come from, and where are we going? And knowing those things is helping them to expand into a global market. So Jamberry's brand purpose is to empower women to make life beautiful. And how do they do this? They do this by offering services and products that women can use every day to discover and express their own personal style. They also give women like us the opportunity to increase our income and help others to do the same. So this chance to kind of pay it forward always comes back around, and ultimately it's a positive thing for everyone. Jamberry has a brand vision, and their vision is to one day get to a place where everybody knows the Jamberry name. You know that old expression, we want Jamberry to be a household name. Now, achieving that goal is not going to be easy, but it's 100% possible when we put work into making it a positive. All experiences with Jamberry ultimately should be positive, whether that be with consultants or with our customers. And as we know, there's always going to be some blips and there's always going to be some challenges, but how we respond to those challenges will help us achieve the goal of, or the vision will help us achieve the company's vision of making sure that everybody knows about Jamberry. You know, way back when, even before I was born, nobody knew what Avon was, and Avon is a household name, and I think Jamberry can get there too. What's really awesome, ladies, is we're here at the beginning. So can you imagine in 10 years from now how big Jamberry is going to be, and how valuable our own teams and organizations are going to be back then, because we're going to be one of the first. There's still under only less than 7,000 distributors, Jamberry consultants here in Canada. Anybody who knows anything about network marketing knows that is an insane ground level opportunity to be a part of. And those of you that are learning to step out of your shell a little bit more and introduce and offer people or ask people if they can see themselves being, Jamberry consultants, just the ask is the hardest part. It really is. The answer, what they say to you, isn't. It's asking. And I hope to help you develop the ability and the confidence to do that, because you're not asking somebody to get into something shady or something fly by night or something gimmicky. Women have done their nails since nail polish was invented. We know that's not going to change. Women are not going to stop going to salons. And so Jamberry is always going to have products that are going to be current and now and relevant and affordable. And because we're in an industry like that, we're going to be around for a long, long time. So the fact that we're in there now, if we can stick through the low parts, those highs are going to be kind of amazing. Now, here's the meat of what I wanted to talk about tonight. It's the brand values. Now, as I go through each one, and I hope you have a notepad there, I'd like for you to take some notes, because part of your homework is going to involve looking at these brand values and doing some self-identification there. Now, the brand values illustrate how the company encourages their consultants to relate to each other and to their customers. And we should all be embodying these brand values in everything that we do relative to Jamberry, but some of them are going to identify a little more with some of us than others will. Now, the first brand value I want to talk about is be unique. Personal style is a reflection of our own unique identity. So we help people explore so many different kinds of looks, and we have got hundreds of wraps, and if you think about it, that can easily turn into millions of different combinations for some mixed manis, especially now that we've got the lacquers and the gels. And the lacquers have so many of the different top coats now. The gels, which I found out just through experimenting, can be mixed to make more colors, but we know how awesome gels are now as accent nails, or gels under wraps, or gels over wraps. So we've got millions of combinations with our products that are available, and that allows our customers to truly be unique. And I know I'm not alone in this, but it's easy to pick out when somebody's wearing Jamberry on their nails, isn't it? But even though we can tell, or people can tell, and we want this to happen, that people have Jamberry on their nails, you don't often see two people with the same mani. So the infinite number of product combinations just really guarantees that customers aren't going to bump into somebody who's got the same purse or the same shoes or the same dress. We don't have that embarrassing moment, right? We've just got that real and true ability to be unique. So that is one of Jamberry's brand values. Another one is to be creative. We really encourage personal creativity at every level, and that doesn't just come with preparing your manis, but that also comes in how you run your parties and how you interact with everybody. But by being creative, that doesn't mean, figure it out on your own. I mean, if you've been through your workstation, and after 17 months, I still don't know everything that's in the workstation. There's so much information in there, and that's such a great thing, because if I don't know the answer, I know that I can figure out where to find it just by going into my workstation. So be creative, not just in your business and how you succeed, but in how you find ways to interact with others and introduce them to Jamberry, how you interact in your parties, everything from format to games, to how you follow up with customers. There's an opportunity there to be really creative. The third brand value, and this is one of them that I really truly love, and we really feel it in Glow, and that's be a family. I mean, we want our consultants and we want each other. Especially want all of you to be financially successful, but I never want that to be at the expense of any of your personal relationships or professional ones either. And Jamberry putting this as a brand value, really kind of confirmed what I've seen since I joined. Jamberry is all about family first, and they encourage spending time with your families. I mean, one of their, and I know this, one of Jared and Adam's and the sisters' most favorite things is reading the Because of Jamberry hashtag stories that you can find all over social media. They want to see you succeed, but if it's going to cost you anything in life that really matters, then they're not achieving that goal. And so if any of you are struggling with trying to balance your business with your family time, don't be afraid to talk to me about it. Nobody is expecting you to put Jamberry before your family. I certainly don't. I consider you my family, absolutely, but when it comes to my husband and my children, their needs will also take precedence. One of the reasons I love Jamberry so much is because the financial rewards and the structure of the business and the company allow me to put that on pause when I need to. And interestingly enough, you know, the sun still comes up and the world keeps turning. So being a family is not only one of Jamberry's most important brand values, it's something that I really do identify with. And I hope that I am able to convey that and that you feel that as well. If you don't, please feel comfortable talking to me because the last thing I ever want to be thought of is somebody who is asking you to put Jamberry in a place in your heart or life that it doesn't belong. The next brand value that I want to talk about is be a blessing. Jamberry allows us to bless our own lives by, you know, we're gaining new friends and new contacts, and we're kind of having fun doing it. We're doing all of this in a setting that allows us to give back to people in so many ways. And I'm not just talking about things like hostess rewards. I mean, that's fantastic as well. And certainly we can be a blessing when we have great parties. Isn't it fun to tell your hostess that they can shop for, you know, $150 worth of free stuff? They kind of get giddy, and honestly, so do I. But being a blessing in so many other ways, I mean, it comes back again to that Because of Jamberry hashtag I was talking about. Look at how some people have been able to use some of the things that they have gained in their lives, whether that be finances or otherwise. Look at how people are using the blessings that have come from Jamberry, and they're using those to bless other people in so many different ways. And, you know, I hope this is something that you have seen in your own life, or that you're beginning to see a little bit more and more. And I hope that you do have the opportunity to bless others, not just in the name of Jamberry, but sometimes if that was one of the stepping stones that allowed you to do that, they have certainly achieved their goal. And certainly that's the feeling and the moment and the culture that I love being a part of. And the last brand value that I want to talk to you about today is be generous. Jamberry is a very generous company. We have one of the best compensation plans in the industry, bar none. And I mean, if you have a lot of time on your hands, feel free to go online and look at some of the other companies. You will be blown away by how amazing our compensation plan is. If you don't really understand the compensation plan a lot, or if you have any questions at all about it, send me a message or give me a call or come to one of the meetings if you can. I'm happy to explain that to you. It took me a long time to understand most of it, and that's only because I don't sit in front of something and study it until I learn it. And so most of it has been kind of sort of drilled into my mind by looking at it so many times and asking questions for my upline when I had them. So knowing that compensation is certainly important. Now, you also know, or you may not know, but Jamberry, they put out charity wraps. They have several different charities. We have the Autism Society right now, and Heart and Stroke was one of them. And there were some, the Nepal wraps, for example. Jamberry gives back much of their corporate profits to deserving and wonderful charities. They've done breast cancer in the past as well. We have an excellent fundraising program where Jamberry will either donate or you can choose to give back some of your profits. And so that brand pillar is something that I hope you incorporate into your daily life and not just as part of your Jamberry business. So to recap those brand values, we had be unique, be creative, be a family, be a blessing, and be generous. And what I would like for you to do before the end of the week, this is part of your homework. I'm not going to have a big list of homework to do today. I'm going to be assigning a couple of different things throughout the week. And I hope that you continue to do things that you've had to in past week. Follow up with past customers. Talk to people about hosting that party, especially now we're going into the highest sale season of the entire year. Christmas shopping is starting. Work on those bundles. We're going to take a day this week to maybe talk about some different bundles and some really cool ideas that we have for getting this hot time of year sales really kicked in. So out of the brand values and the photos that you've seen here as part of this little chat, I want you to post, and you have to post it here in PowerSurge, which of these brand values you most identify with. And I want you to share why. For myself, I couldn't pick just one because I really felt that being a blessing and being generous are two things that I really hold dear, and I really try to incorporate into every single day of my life. I have more opportunity to do that now because of Jamberry than I may have had before, but those two brand values really resonate with me. Being a blessing to me means everything from listening to helping out where I can, to just being somebody who is either neutral or a safe place to speak to, or sometimes it's just about sharing some of the things that I have with other people, and that kind of leads into the be generous pillar for me. I love to pay it forward. It's probably my most favorite thing to do because the rewards from that far outweigh any of the bonus checks I have ever received. And being generous, paying it forward to me, it always comes back in spades. And so I've always been taught, and I teach my children, and I live by the philosophy that if you can, you should. Regardless of whether the recipient appreciates it as much as you want them to, always, always, always be generous. And I tell myself that all the time, especially when I'm in a really, really difficult situation. And you know those situations where you're dealing with people who are a little less than kind. Sometimes it's hard to be a blessing and it's hard to be generous. But our company values are there because they truly reflect the personalities and the morals and the values of everybody who works at head office. And if all of us as consultants can also reflect those brand values, Jamberry will continue to be a strong, growing, wonderful, amazing company to be a part of. So thank you for listening, ladies. Below this recording, I'd like for you to once again let me know what brand values you most identify with and why. I don't need examples, but if you want to share those, that's fantastic. It's always fun. And so have a great Monday evening, and I will chat with you a little bit more tomorrow. We still have the C personality description to go over. I have not been able to convert that recording, so I'm going to work on that right now and get that posted probably before you even wake up.